You were just doing gigs last night. You're going to Tyler Perry's and Chuck Lorre's doing the thing. You're touring, doing that part of the job.
Yeah.
The night of, I'm a comic, so the night that you knew that they were going to shoot Bin Laden, you're doing comedy.
I was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, is there some trick that you can share with us all of how you just sort of focus in on that? Is everything that immediate to you that you can compartmentalize that quickly? Or you just know that you have to show up and do the job?
Yeah, look, because you're a performer, this is true, and you're friends with a lot of comics.
You like comedy?
I love comedy, and
who are your guys?
Well, Pryor was an early one. Yeah. Dick Gregory when he was really, on the edge. But I love all. Seinfeld's a whole nother different type.
Yeah,
Louis, I know is a buddy of yours.
Yeah.
I love
Louis.
I think Louis is terrific.
Oh boy, he just made his life.
No,
he just made his life.
Mean, he's wonderful in such a self-deprecating but edgy kind of way. I mean, and basically good-hearted even when he's saying stuff that's pretty wrong.
Yeah,
but you can there's a goodness about him that comes through. But look, I think that
I was in upstate New York in a small town, and I was standing in front of a drugstore, and in the window of the drugstore they had a wheelchair on display in the window. Is that really an impulse purchase? I should get a wheelchair. That would really help with my paralysis. Then I wouldn't have to drag myself everywhere I go, like I've been doing for 10 years since my legs were blown off at the marathon. Okay. Bunch of hypocrites, apparently. Because, let me point some out to you. Motherfuckers. You were just, like, seconds ago, laughing at a man with no legs crawling on the ground. You're just... And then at the end, you're like, oh, but not those particular legless people. No. We thought you meant just some with a childhood disease who deserves to be laughed at. Not one of those. Now we're laughing at all legless people equally. However you lost your legs. Ha ha ha. You haven't legs. And we've legs. I have legs. I have 2 legs. 2 legs. That's the maximum amount. I love having 2 legs. I love it. I wouldn't like having no legs. I really don't think I would like it. I think it would suck. I think it would out of the balls of Christ. It's an old Southern expression. It's not used like it used to be. I think 2 legs is better than none. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. It's not popular. You're not supposed to say that because you're supposed to always be very positive about disabled people. But I think that puts pressure on them to be positive. What if they don't want to be? Because the only story we want to hear is about the amazing disabled people. He's amazing. He lost his legs and then he won the leg-having contest. What about disabled people who aren't amazing? Who are just ordinary with a sweatshirt and some potato chips, and he's going, fuck, I wish I had legs. No, this is better. This is better with no legs. Why is it better? Because you can do anything now. I can do 4 things. Fuck off. I just don't know that our positive, non-disabled attitude really helps. Like retarded people. We're going to talk about retarded people for 20 minutes. That's what's going to happen. We're going to discuss retarded people for 20 minutes. It's not okay to never speak of them. No, we're going to talk about them. First of all, I want to talk about the word retarded, okay? Because the word retarded, it's a bad word, and people do not like the word retarded. They find it very offensive. Now, I'm a little confused by this, because it wasn't always a bad word. And I grew up in the 70s, and it wasn't bad back then. And most bad words were always bad. You know, cunt never had a day in the sun. There was never a time where the Santa Claus at the mall was like, come here, you little cunt, tell me what you want for Christmas. And then in the 90s, we're like, let's lay off a cunt a little bit there, gang. No, we used the word retarded in the 70s. We used it to identify people who were retarded. It wasn't controversial. It wasn't like, he's retarded. It was like, he is retarded. This fellow right here is retarded, right? Remember I told you, yes, you're still retarded. He is retarded, everyone. And I grew up in Boston. We didn't say retarded in Boston. We said retarded. He's retarded. God bless him, he's retarded. That's the way we used it. With love. Help the retarded. That's what people said in the 70s. Help the retarded. There was a lady outside the supermarket near my house every Christmas with a bell. She was like, help the retarded. Help the retarded. You gonna tell me she was a bad person? She was helping the retarded. And I feel like we had more of them around back then. I haven't seen one in years. In the 70s, there was a retarded guy in a windbreaker on every street corner. We were using the word, and they were more in our lives. I swear to God, they were more. They were in our culture. There was TV movies about retarded people all the time. Tonight on ABC, a retarded boy's dream. There was one, I remember, with Sean Cassidy. I don't know if you remember Sean Cassidy. Some of you are too young. But Sean Cassidy, he began his career as a teen pop idol. He was a 13-year-old boy with a very hit song called "Taboo, Run, Run." And he had feathered blonde hair and juicy lips. And he's on the cover of Teen Beat magazine. And everybody liked Sean Cassidy because he was sexy. He's a sexy boy. I thought he was sexy. I did. I thought he was really sexy. I was 6 years old. But I already had inappropriate sex feelings for teenage boys when I was 6. I was an old soul. I was a pedophile when I was 6. I used to go up to teenage boys when I was 6, like, hey, how's it going? That kid's weird. He's got a boner. Anyway. Not anymore. I outgrew it. But, no. I'm not sexually attracted to teenage boys. I'm not. But I don't not get it. I mean, I get it. I'm not like, what? Like, you can see it. Like, I was in an airport once, and I'm walking along where people walk in the airport, and there's these chairs facing the aisle, and there's this family sitting there, a mom and a dad and 2 teenage boys, and they're like just both sitting with their phones with their legs. They're wearing like these shorts. One had cut-off shorts, and one had basketball shorts. And they both just had their legs open because they don't give a f***. Both legs just splayed, and then just smooth, you know, just very... And I saw it. It didn't do anything to me. But I kind of wanted to stop and go, hey, fellas, let's close that up, huh? You're not getting me, but I know you're causing a problem for somebody in this airport. Let's close it up. I did not say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Anyway, let's return to the comfortable subject of retarded people, shall we? So Sean Cassidy. Sean Cassidy was a teen singer who then grew up. He was about 18. Now he was, old and gross. Nobody wanted to f*** him. So he started to act. And he had a movie on TV called Normal People, where he played a retarded man who wants to live a normal life. It was very inspiring, actually. And at one point, he didn't do like a big retarded character. He wore thick glasses. He talked like Elmer Fudd. That was the whole thing. So he goes up to the guy who runs the group home he lives in, and he says, I want to get a job. And the guys who runs it is like, Republican conservative. So he's like, you can't get a job. You're retarded, But then there's a liberal lady who works there, and she says, of course he can get a job. He's as good as anyone. So they let him get a job as an air traffic controller, whatever was available. And then he meets a woman who's also retarded who lives at the group home. He falls in love with her. It's a very nice love story. And he says, we want to get married. And the guy says, she says, but they're in love. So they get married. And then one day he says, we want to have a baby. And the liberal lady says, no way. And they just shut them down right there. And that's the end of the movie. I swear to God, that's just how it ends. And the point of the movie is just, hey, there's a limit. Like, that's, I guess, what the point of it was. And that's pretty intense. But hey, retarded people were on television. We were talking about it. We were dealing with it. And they said the word retarded about 50,000 times in the movie. Now we don't say the word, and I don't see them anywhere. I guess that's my problem with it. And also, the word is not basically a bad word. It's a medical term. But it became a bad word because it's used as an insult, really. Not towards retarded people. Nobody does that. Nobody calls retarded people retarded to insult them. What would be the point of that? It would be like going up to a chair and saying, you're a chair. Like, what are you doing? No. People use it on their friends. Like, you're at a bar. Your friend's like, I don't have any more money for beer. And you're like, you're retarded. Do you know that? And in that moment, no one retarded is insulted. They're not. Do you know why? Because they're not there. Because we don't include them in our lives. They're not at the bar. How many of you have a retarded drinking buddy that you hang out with? No, you take them to the zoo when they're little and then fuck them. This is what I find confusing about this thing, is that we told many generations of people that they are retarded. We told them that that's what they are, and they lived with it, and they dealt with it. And then we just decided it's a bad word. So did we tell them this? Did we go back to them and explain this to them? Listen, Nelson, I have something to tell you. You're not retarded anymore. You mean I'm cured? No. No. No, we're not even working on it.
I'm Jimmy.
How are your daughters? Are they handling the
They're
new
great.
fame?
Yeah, I mean, they're not famous.
But they
They're
don't.
just kids.
Do they know a difference though?
Yeah, that people come up to me on the street when
More
I'm
often?
with them. Yeah, so that gets a little annoying.
Are they rolling
for
their
them.
eyes?
Well,
like,
I'll be talking to my daughter, and we're having a real conversation, and someone will step between us and say, "Oh my God!"
Oh my God!
And I'm like, I was just talking to her about a big moment in her life.
Oh,
She just got her period, you idiot.
Do you correct them and say,
little.
"Sir, I'm talking
What?
to my daughter"?
I put a finger up, like, excuse me, and they'll ignore it. It's weird. People don't give a shit. But
What is with
often there
people?
is a girlfriend pulling the guy away, going, he's with his kids. And he's like, what?
he's
Picture.
He's cool. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Have you had any turn on yet? Like people are like, what the dude? You
No, not really. Not really.
That's good.
I think that only happens if you're really aggressive with people.
Right.
But mostly people. I can tell sometimes when as their faces turn away from me, I can tell them, go, what a
Fucking
I know
asshole.
I disappoint some people in the world.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's true.
The idea of people going off away from me and saying that guy's an asshole, it's not the end of the world. It's okay for that to happen.
Yeah.
As long as I feel like I did the right thing. I mean, if I try to connect with a person and say hello, and that's
I
not
got
okay
ya.
for them.
Yeah.
him. Or if I'm with my kids and I'm trying to finish a conversation with my daughter instead of talking to some guy, and he thinks that's shitty, and then fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I just can't wait until your phase of getting to meet the people is over, because the more famous you get, believe me, there's a window on this phase of when
I'm not going to want to do it anymore.
Oh, please.
No, you're absolutely right.
But at least I talk to them, and wait till Mayberry days are over. Somebody did.
Why are they called Mayberry days?
Because it's friendly and hometowny. Hey, no picture, but let's get to know each other.
Yeah,
you like coffee or decaf?
I saw Jim, what's his name? Captain Kirk. What's his name? The original.
Oh, that's
fucking
Shatner?
Shatner. Jim William Shatner.
I know.
Jim
Kirk.
No, Jim Kirk.
Shatner.
I saw the character. I saw James T. Kirk going into 30 Rock to do Conan. I was working there at the time and having a cigarette outside, and he was coming in, and he comes out of the town car, and a bunch of people walk up, and before anybody gets to him, he puts his hands up and says, "This is not fun anymore." And he just walks in, and they all just, their hands all dropped, and
All bummed out.
they were stunned.
That's great.
This is not fun
This is
anymore.
not
Good for
fun anymore.
him. You know how long he's been dealing with that?
Oh yeah,
And those fans?
yeah,
Oof.
yeah, they feel they own him.
We
yeah.
love him,
Yeah.
though, man. He comes in here.
He's
I
great.
love it.
He's
He's great. I love him.
He's a
He's
character.
such a blast.
80 years old. He's still writing books and working.
Yeah.
Depressing.
I like just throwing in Star Trek references, no matter what he's talking about. He gets so he's like, what do you mean? I don't remember that. Like, all right. He was trying to talk about something. I start quoting Wrath of Khan, and he's just, why?
He has to understand, though. Let's be honest.
Of course he does.
You aren't going to become an icon from T.J. Hooker.
No.
Or Rescue 911. Yes, time is of the essence. Hypothermia was setting in. It was always hypothermia on that goddamn show. Right, we get it. The Mexican fell in the river. Southern California. Southern California is always about them trying to fish Mexicans out of the river. I used to play in those riverbeds out there in California.
You did?
Yeah,
When?
yeah.
What part of your life?
Oh, my God. When I was like 13, 14, I lived out there in San Juan Capistrano, where the swallows come
Really?
back. Yeah. Had a horse.
Know that.
Well,
You
my-
had a horse?
Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
What are you talking
I was an
about?
equestrian guy. I had a horse. I wore like
I thought you
the
grew up in some
cowboy
little
hat.
apartment.
I love America. I love it here. It's not what it used to be. It's kind of me and my wife and kids, we live in upstate New York, and it's one of these areas where we're in a suburb of Walmart, basically. It's just Walmart and Walgreens and Rent-A-Center. Do you know what Rent-A-Center is? Do you know what goes on in a Rent-A-Center? People go to Rent-A-Center to rent like a chair. Or a couch. How is your very life that you need to rent a lamp for $40 a month? And then you go broke and you gotta go, honey, they're gonna take the lamp today. Because we didn't pay the lamp rent. So I go to Walgreens. I just kept going. And Walgreens is depressing because it's a drugstore, but they sell whatever. I go in there, they're selling sweatpants. Right when you walk in, a big rack of sweatpants. It's a drugstore, but they're like, somebody brought them sweatpants, they said, fuck it, they'll buy them, but just put them out, it's fine. Right next to the sweatpants, vodka. Big plastic squirt top jugs of vodka. How depressing is that? Sweatpants and vodka. That's a whole identity right there. You could buy those two things and just go be that guy in the parking lot of the Walgreens. You know that dude in the sweatpants and no shirt just laying there? His belly's the color of the pavement. He's like a chameleon. He's been sleeping there so long. You know those bums that smell amazing? Like you kind of can't help fantasizing about really smelling them on purpose. I don't know if you do that, but when you smell a bum and you're like, what if I just really dug in there on purpose and wow, like would he change me or? And I go to Walgreens and they're selling, I'm going to the back of the pharmacy too, and the pharmacy is the most depressing place in the world. People in Walgreens are just milling around in flip-flops and hitting their kids in the toy aisle, like beating their kids in front of toys. And then they go and buy medication and they don't have insurance. They think they have insurance and they way don't. And every moment, it's like a hidden camera joke on all these people. It happens, it breaks my heart. They come up, they have a prescription. They're really happy because there's a solution to their problem in their hands. The doctor said, take that, you'll be fine. So they give it to the pharmacist and he goes, yeah, it's gonna be $40,000 for that. And the guy's like, what? But I have insurance. Now we called, they said, fuck you. No. And then the guy always gives him like chewed up gum with hair in it and says, take this is what you get. This is your... And they always ask, is this as good as the other one? No, of course not. The other would have cured you completely. And we got shitloads of it too. But none for you, you poor faggot. Go home and die. You have your bad thoughts. Hopefully you do good things. Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully the good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. And I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this thing and then this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe. I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now, do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe Maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're people, that we others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit. Thanks a lot, folks. You guys are great. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
I think it's a compact humans have always made. We want to be able to laugh about stuff that's upsetting us. It's part of it, and then everybody gets upset sometimes, and they all go, "How could we make such jokes? This is a terrible thing." But in the end, we always choose the humor. That's why comedy's always stayed in there. Once in a while, everybody says this is wrong to talk about these things, and you shouldn't joke about bad things or hurting things. And we all clang a bell because that's part of the process. And I accept that. That's okay that people do that because it's part of it. You say that to yourself once in a while because it lets you off the hook. I tweeted to everybody that I thought that joke was inappropriate. And then later you can laugh at a joke that's inappropriate. You know, I mean, that way you get to have both ways.
But are there places you won't go, will not go?
Only if it's not funny or if it's boring.
But that's it.
Yeah, or somebody else has been there heavily. Then I won't go there usually because it's boring. Yeah, no, it's only if it's boring. But I don't. I remember saying one time that saying that a joke is too awful, saying that something is too terrible to joke about, is like saying that a disease is too terrible to try to cure it. I mean, that's what you do with awful things. You joke about them. That's how you get through it. It's how you survive life.
It's the only way you can talk.
Yeah. So to say that's so terrible, I can't joke about it. That's totally counterintuitive to me. It's like, if it's that awful, you better start joking about it. Because that's how human beings get through it.
And also, by the way, he might not have been Slash. I mean, he's got the hat. And I'm not even saying that they fake Slash. I mean, that Slash could have sent you want to do that for me? Yeah, I'll give you $12,000.
Yeah. No,
go do it for me.
There's no money in the playing Super Bowl half.
Oh, really?
No. It's
just an honor.
They
the
pay
exposure,
all expenses and whatnot. And it's sort of just like
I didn't know
promote
that.
your thing,
your project. Yeah. Well, there is a rumor the NFL trying to get you guys together, the actual Guns N' Roses together
to play the halftime
next year. Thing was
is that a real? I mean, you've heard that rumor by now, right?
Yeah, I heard it in my own house. My wife comes to me. She goes, "Honey, the NFL's trying to get you guys. You know they're getting you guys back together for next year's Super." I said, "Sue, baby, really?" She goes, "Yeah, it's on the internet." I'm like, "Honey, you're talking to me. Break away from the internet and get back to reality."
No, but it's right here on TMZ.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you don't know yet because it's on. You don't want to look at TMZ.
That's our culture, though. It's hilarious. She's living with the guy.
Yeah. You have to cut the thing.
Actually, turn your head away from the machine.
It's me.
Look at the person that you're talking about.
You could trust me, and you could trust me what I have to say about
14
this.
years together. We're good. Like,
wow.
Yeah, no, it's just rumor and wild rumor.
I remember when Guns N' Roses broke, and I was in high school, and I was a senior, and the kids, freshmen and sophomores, started listening to Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is the first band that I had the experience of saying, what are the young kids listening to? Like, I was a senior, but I was like, what is that? Because I didn't know any, but me and my friends were listening to Led Zeppelin, and Van Halen was like where we were at. And then freshmen and sophomores that had weird haircuts and were kind of fucked up, and they were listening to this Guns N' Roses, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was so different to me.
It was way above everything else
from
out.
the gut. Oh, so from the gut. Like, you could hear every string of the guitars. Like, it was such tightly wound
but I went nuts for it. I loved it. I still do. Every time I hear it, I still
freaked out.
Crazy.
I remember that. Yeah,
it really is rare because rock and roll, especially by the '80s already, was such a being oversaturated. Every color of the spectrum's out there. To have a sound that people go that shakes everybody, you know.
It's
rarely
great.
happens.
And it's weird to be, I mean, for me, you know, to be sort of, you know, to be inside of the thing and not being able to experience it from anywhere.
You're not getting
else,
to be a Guns N' Roses fan. You didn't get to be a,
yeah, I mean, you know,
be a fan.
Like Slash, you know, at this, you know, it's so sort of iconic in some circles. Like Slash's top hat could have come up on that pedestal, and people would have went crazy, you know, exactly. Without even him
That's
in it.
how big the deal is.
So it went from us being like, you know, kind of street urchins. Really,
Right.
it's just it was a band from the gutter, and 5 guys. That's all we had was music, nothing else, and it was that or kill somebody, really. And,
well, it's like the Beatles coming out of Hamburg. Like that's what made them great was playing the rough rooms. We have beer thrown at you.
Yeah.
You're wearing leather because it's actually protecting you.
yeah, right.
Yeah, the thought that they were tough guys back when they were actually in
the LA
Liverpool.
scene was such a. I mean, it was dangerous just because how strung out everybody was.
Yeah.
It was like it was hard to just survive.
Yeah.
And these guys found this. I don't know. You just tune into this frequency.
Yeah.
I moved
Played
to
this one
Hollywood.
note.
I moved to Hollywood in September of '84, and there was the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles in '84. September, the Olympics were over. So I guess what happened was the cops had cleaned up Hollywood, pushed everybody out, the hookers and the drugs and all that stuff. And there must have been some events in Hollywood, but I came right as the cops let down all the barriers.
Oh, and let everybody come down.
And the floodgates were open. I had no idea. I was 19 years old, and it was just dangerous. I didn't live in a high rent neighborhood.
Yeah.
I lived in like the kind of the dregs of Hollywood. And it was for real. I mean, it was on. It was dangerous. There was ghetto birds over my apartment every night. Helicopters.
Okay,
you know,
No, there was a time where you drove down Sunset and you had this feeling like if I got out of my car, I could get killed and nobody will find me for a while.
Really that bad?
Yeah, it was just seemed and
CD.
But you know, and by the way, they came out of there, and it became one of them playing the Super Bowl for 5 seconds. That only happened again, going back to our earlier conversation, because of record stores in the 80s. Because some record store owner in Indianapolis said, "This sounds hot. I think this will move if I put it out there." And it grew. That's why he was able to come from the gutter up to mainstream. Was through that system. It's like it's like a septic system or something.
Yeah,
like there's receivers.
Actually,
And now if you got to go directly from your playing it to iTunes, you have to go right to mainstream. There's no coming up as much anymore.
I was living in Rochester, and we got Appetite from some guy in Arizona. It wasn't available yet. People were just kind of trading it around.
Go find that.
I don't even know if it was a bootleg. I'm not even sure.
That's why
so
the
many
reason
years
it excited me was because I haven't heard this, and I don't know where these kids got it.
It absolutely wasn't in my local record store. Something that the kids at the time were just
the
passing
freshmen
around.
and sophomores in my school got it at the record store in Harvard Square.
And then they obviously changed the cover because you had controversy about the cover, right? If
Yeah,
I remember.
so-
and then it was mass. It was in every record store in America. But
Yeah.
at first, when I discovered you guys, it was because some dude mailed it to us from Arizona.
Yeah, that record was out for a good year
Before
and
it hit.
toured. Yeah, and they were about to pull us off.
See,
the
and
road.
that's because the record stores like Louis.
Yeah, because the record had legs, because it was given some time to seep out through the system, and people went, "What are those kids that I'm a little afraid of listening to?"
Yeah, I think I'm too old now. But Guns N' Roses and Nirvana, when I heard those two bands for the first time, I was like, "Holy shit,
that?
what is going on?" And I haven't had that feeling since. But then again, I'm getting older, so maybe it's passed me by. But
yeah, there is. I mean, I think there's sort of a disconnect now with younger bands coming up, and I have a feeling something's going to happen. But you're right, there hasn't been that one band
that wow moment.
polarized.
Maybe there has been, but I just I'm in another world now.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
But I can't really think of one off the top of my head that could have been, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, and then who was next after that?
Yeah,
everyone's just still waiting for whatever Black Eyed Peas wants to do.
Yeah.
Like there isn't that kind of like Darwinist thing in the music right now. where somebody else comes around and goes,
Lady Gaga.
forget everything you've ever heard. This is now.
Right.
Yeah.
Forget
Or maybe
everything you've
someone
ever
like-
heard except Madonna.
Right.
Did you guys hear that thing? You probably did. What is it? Lady Antebellum, the song that they won the Grammy for.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know
yeah.
who that is. I don't even know what that sounds like.
Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I heard the song on the Grammy.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so Bob Rivers, he's a DJ.
Yeah, Seattle guy.
Right? He's the next day after the Grammys, he was driving to work to his DJ job. He's a Seattle DJ now, and he goes, "I know this song. I know this song is something else, and it's a Alan Parsons.
Alan Parsons Project?
So he got to work and he put the two songs together. It's on that internet.
Holy shit.
And it's exactly the melody.
What Alan Parsons song? I don't know.
You got it?
Many
You bringing
songs
it up?
by Alan
He's
Parsons.
We got it. We got
Daniel,
it coming
find
up.
Has this come out as a big deal? And it won a Grammy.
Parsons song. Wow, what
I
a
Amazing.
didn't even notice, but the second that kicked in, it was so exact. That's great.
And that's like so much even better than George My Sweet Love and
yeah.
Right.
that's even more exact.
Well, we were also
it's
talking
even the
about
same arrangement.
yeah.
Right.
Lady
But it's
Gaga
that-
doing
and I
Express
need
Yourself.
you. It's that little.
Lady Gaga does Express Yourself.
Well, that's
it's fucking
where you-
Madonna's song.
So what's going on there?
I don't know. She do we have one of those?
Is Alan Parsons Project person going to get some cash for that?
You would assume that
I
they're
think
looking
so.
into it.
You don't want that going in front of a jury.
No.
Wow.
No. You heard the George Harrison one, though.
Yeah. You would think you could rip off Alan Parsons because who cares? But that's one, that's a
Some
popular
guy,
one.
yeah, he's somewhere in Colorado like, what?
I heard.
Oh, that's a drag, man. Can we get some cash for that?
That's a drag, man.
But I lied to you.
It sounds
When
a lot like
I
that.
say something that... Just play that quickly while it's still in our ears.
Why? Because I can't, because it's going to show you a 30-second ad first. So.
Oh,
Dumb ads.
And then now the ads on.
Stupid ads.
It's
making
interesting
the internet
that,
free.
that the ads are for specific moments now. Like when you watch CNN or ABC News and it's sponsored by Kellogg's, it's one thing. But when you want to watch one moment, like a man being beaten to death in Egypt, sponsored by Target. It's like, hey,
Target.
did you know that Geico? And then a man being beaten to death in Egypt.
Doesn't seem to go.
Geico brought you this guy being beaten.
Thank you, Geico.
And aren't they funny? And what are they even?
I got good news for everyone. We have a new Diddy blog.
Oh my God! Really?
Diddy blog.
You're into the Diddy blog?
Oh, totally. That guy is proving that celebrities are all just giant yawns with diarrhea on their faces. Gotta hate that guy. What an ass.
So you're on board with the Diddy blog?
Oh, I can't
all right.
stand him.
We got an intro and everything, Lo.
Well, his name is Sean, but people call him Diddy, and he's spouting up garbage that he thinks is so witty. He became really famous when some gangster shot Biggie. His puppy's latest video blog.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, yo?
Love the intro.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Diddy has a lot to say about Sarah Palin. Huh?
He does.
Let's hear his unique point of view. Let's hear his.
He is a moron.
Let's hear what you can only get from him.
Diddy block number 24. Sarah Palin.
Uh-oh.
She scares me.
Well,
she really scares me.
Likewise.
Look at this, boys and girls. Watch this.
And when it comes to establishing your worldview, I was curious, what newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand the world?
I read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
Like what ones specifically, I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years.
Oh my God, is he getting tased? What's going on there? Oh my gosh.
Boys and girls. Boys and girls.
I just spent 2 seconds actually working for a living.
Did you hear her? Did you? I'm scared.
See,
Diddy, we get it.
What Pitty's doing there is his Blair Witch project.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, stock in his company has to be crumbling.
Yeah. And how was it filmed? There was a flashlight in the dark?
It's like he's in bed with a flashlight and he's telling ghost stories under the cover.
No, it's Blair Witch. You put the flashlight under your face, like she did. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. He's trying to do that.
Yeah.
But wow, that looks like a shot out of one of those bank cameras.
Don't you have another song to rip off? Why are you bothering with this crap?
What a dumb person.
It continues with this.
Of course it does.
So, you know.
She scares me. She scares me. I'm hiding under the covers. She's worse than the boogeyman.
The boogeyman? Well, that would...
Well, you know, if you want to go there.
Good one.
Good one.
Good one.
If you want to go there, Mr. Diddy.
Funny stuff.
Good one. Funny stuff.
We could go around.
That's some of that improv stand-up.
There you go, a little bit of that improv stand-up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sarah Palin, you scare me.
We get it.
Yeah,
You could
you're
become
scared by it.
president of the United States.
Yeah.
You. Did you
Puffy's crazy.
Puffy isn't. There's somebody in his world who he doesn't pay well enough and who he treats badly, who's telling him that this stuff is great.
That's great.
He needs someone to just not be scared to tell the
He has somebody going, oh, that's funny.
Diddy, those blog things you be doing, that's the bomb.
You funnier than all them comedian people.
I seen them blogs. They ain't funny, man. Dog, you funny.
His blog stinks. What bores most entertainers are.
We're going old school really fast. The Warrior, checking it. Yes, Warrior.
The Warrior says Diddy has no talent.
The Warrior.
You don't have the voice, though. Warrior says
Diddy
not funny.
These guys are good at what they do.
Hogan not funny.
I remember years ago when I was working on Chris Rock's show and he was on being interviewed.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, kept bragging about how I'm not just a musician. I'm the CEO of P. Diddy, whatever his company is.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept saying that, and I realized that he had probably just opened a loan-out corporation.
Right.
When you work in entertainment and you get paid as a contractor, your accountant eventually sits you down and goes, you should probably you should probably make a company.
Yeah.
Anybody does this.
Mm-hmm.
People, you can do, any individual can do this. But so it's just okay, so it's my own company? Yeah, it's your own company. It's you, but it's a company so that you pay taxes differently. So what do you want to be? You want to be the president or the CEO, the CEO, whatever. Well, I'm the CEO? Yeah, I'm a CEO also.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm the CEO. And then he came on Chris Rock's show. I'm the CEO of Pete. I'm just like Bill Gates. No, you're not.
No,
not even
you're
close.
nothing like
you're
him.
You're a CEO because you called yourself one, because anyone can do that.
When I sign papers, and we have to sign on behalf of our corporations, I have to sign Anthony 𝐂𝐊, and then title, I have to put president.
Yeah, I put
on
president
there.
on mine,
I am the president of my company. That does not mean I'm the president of a company.
It
means that legally I have to write that down.
You're the president of your taxes.
Right, I'm the president of my taxes.
That's all you are.
We got to tell the listeners that you are listening to 3 CEOs.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Isn't Jimmy a CEO?
Of course I am.
Yeah. Jimmy's a CEO. There's no more CEOs.
3 CEOs and 1 imperial wizard.
I did choose a different title. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff. Oh, golly gee. Wow. So we want a little more respect. You're listening to 3 CEOs.
Yeah, actually, Steve from Bayshore has it right. I do sign Anthony 𝐂𝐊 Führer.
Yeah.
I have to put that down. I'm the Führer. Wouldn't that be great? Führer.
You can do it if you want.
I'm the Führer of my corporation. There.
It's the only one that knows what that ... means over some of those letters.
I know what it means.
He's got an umlaut over his...
Umlaut.
How great are we that we went from shock jocks to CEOs?
CEOs.
Who else gets to do that in this world?
Look at us.
Let's get past this Diddy thing a little more.
Did you hear the answer to that question? Did you hear? Tell me,
got it! Take a 10-year-old movie reference.
President. Boys and girls, vote. Please. Please, I beg you. I'm not coming out the covers. Sarah Palin can't. If I stay underneath the covers, she won't become president.
We got the joke.
Yes, you're just showing people that you're not even.
Registered.
He's making me want to put that white sheet to a better use.
It's a person. There's a person stranded. There's a person stranded.
He sure is stranded.
Very good, Anthony.
There's no difference between him and a 17-year-old girl, because there's 17-year-old girls have vlogs.
Yeah,
on YouTube that are exactly the same amount of thought and content as this piece of garbage human being.
That was terrible.
Who's wasting America's time with his zero intellect or creativity.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, why? And he's in his bed. He's like in his bed with the flashlight there. Why ain't Diddy got no bitches in there? That's like what, like everyone assumes Diddy's got bitches in there all the time.
He's that unfunny. They're
He's
like
so unfunny that his is left.
They're like, look, I enjoy your mansion and your jet, but if you make another joke, I'm leaving.
You do one more stupid Blair Witch Project joke. Okay, I'm going. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. Get the limo.
All right, we got to jump back into a break.
It's as good as it is, the cell service. You know what I mean? And the airplane stuff. They're throwing human bodies into the air like thousands every second. There's like thousands of airplanes in the air right now. And then they get, I mean, it's amazing what these people do. And Sully, by the way, this guy who like lands this plane on the Hudson and he's a hero, and then the passengers meet him and cry and show him their ugly babies and say, look, you know, this kid's not an orphan because of your heroism. I promise you, seconds, like 3 minutes before he did that, they were on the ground in LaGuardia, taxiing around, and he was making his announcements, and everybody in the back's going, oh, could he shut up? I'm on the phone. Drive the bus, you douche. Nobody cares what you say. And they don't even give him the credit, because I've had people say to me that he was that it was a miracle. That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
It was God's hand. Give him the credit. He trained for it.
Yeah, he could have let go of the.
Yeah, how do you
let
not
go
give
of the
it?
controls and
And
everything?
what? God didn't land the. God threw the birds in the engines. That's what God did. But so nobody. What it takes for a guy like that to fly a plane, nobody respects it. They just want to go when they want to go. And even if the 40 minutes isn't even making you late, it's just irritating you.
No, you're not getting there and then have to be 99.9% of the people are not getting to their destination and have to be anywhere within 40 minutes.
No.
So you're okay.
You're living a great dream of a life.
Yeah.
Everybody is right now.
It's a great time to be alive.
It is a great time to be alive.
It's just this big take for granted.
Yeah.
The whole bank thing is hilarious.
Yeah, the bank thing, because
we forget
that's
how hard it was to have. And you would have to figure out, well, all right, it's a 3-day weekend. Or is this going to be enough money for the whole week? You have to figure that crap out.
Yeah, because you couldn't take all your money out. Right. And you had to go, well, if I have more fun than I'm planning, I'm going to be screwed.
Sure.
And you'd actually have to stop doing stuff if you ran out of money. There wasn't this
You'd be out of money.
Yep.
This constant
And you'd be
flow.
so bummed because you're like, the banks don't even open till most cases Tuesday.
I got no money. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You had to often just sit in a chair or in a car and just look around you and go, well, I can't do nothing right now.
And
there's nobody to talk to. I'm not at a phone. I'm just a person.
Leaving your house was like going west.
Yeah.
Seriously, you left your house and you were just out of touch with everybody.
You didn't know what was
You
happening.
hope that the people you said, well, meet me at this bar at 5:30 are going to show up or whatnot.
That's
you could check up on anybody.
This stuff is great. This technology is great. And I've read like comments on YouTube where people say that this guy's a primitivist. This word that means that you hate technology.
You're a primitivist.
Yes, that's not the point. The point isn't that technology is bad for us. The point is that it's as good as it is, and people have to stop. People are so miserable. People spend so many hours poring over their products and then throwing it away and buying another one. Like, it's so far from the basis of, like, being a human being, which is like, I'm going to freeze this winter if I don't make money and buy these certain things.
Right.
You know, like, it used to be you worked at a button factory
and then you took your button money and you bought some lard and bread for your kids, and then you save a little money so you could buy your kid one wooden toy at Christmas. But now the toy is an exploding robot that gives you an enema, and it's and you buy it for your kid before you buy food.
Yeah,
that's the first thing, and you buy one for you, and then you go, this thing, and you get mad at it, you throw it away and buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this incurable, there's just this misery everywhere. People are miserable. Very few Americans are like content.
The phone?
Absolutely right, man. No, I'm just agreeing with it.
Yeah, the phone thing is really funny, too. Because you also forget that people would call your house and no one's there, and they couldn't leave a message.
No,
what if they had something really important? You have to, like, sync up now for that important info.
Whole friendships that wouldn't exist without the ability to connect that much. Because you'd call somebody, and the phone would ring with a dog looking at it for a few minutes. And then in the room the phone is in, like there was a room that the phone lived in.
Yeah, it was
away from the TV.
Phone.
It was the phone. You called it the phone. When was the last time you said who's on the phone? Somebody's on his phone, or somebody's on my phone. You didn't even occur to you to think, they don't know that I called.
Yeah.
That didn't even occur to you.
They'll never know that I called if something happens.
Yeah. And they may call me and I may not be here. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, people would just people. There weren't even answering machines. I remember a time when answering machines were fancy. For most people, it was just somebody might contact you if you know. It's just weird to think of that now.
Yeah. The one thing you said that was very funny was the sparks inside.
Yeah,
like there were.
No, it was a copper coil. If you took apart a phone,
coil.
which I did often, it was a copper coil that you made sparks and it went down a copper wire, literally a copper wire from your house to the other person you're talking to.
Your phone,
like cups with a string.
You didn't buy a phone at the store.
No, we rented
plug it into the wall. It was Bell Telephone, property of Bell Telephone. It was hardwired into your wall. Yeah. So when you moved in, that phone was sitting there.
Yes, and when you didn't pay the bill, which my mom often would run out of money and not pay the bill, they would come and take the actual phone out.
They'd take the phone.
The phone would go into a truck full of ugly, dirty phones in a pile like Auschwitz, just all laying with their cords tangled together in a big pile.
Although that cord would constantly, the worse you stretched it, the longer and more unwieldy it got.
And it was a Garrett. It was another weapon.
Yeah, it's a Garrett. You could choke it because that thing would never snap.
No,
you could break a lot of stuff with that long phone cord.
You'd pull it into a bedroom and slam the door on the cord to get your privacy.
And the thing is, the things people are impatient about, too. It's like a guy standing on a street corner, furious because it's taking a little while to load a picture of Axl Rose on his phone for him to look at for a second to remember what the guy looked like for a second.
Oh my God!
Look at fat Axl Rose now.
Yeah.
What's he look like now?
I took out.
It's taking too long.
I still do. I'm amazed by technology, and sometimes I do step back and look at it and go like, wow, that is effing amazing that we have this. Things like flight, though, you do still take for granted. Yeah. I know that, but like newer technology, the iPhone, for one thing, I know Jimmy doesn't like it.
Hate it.
But the principle behind it, the fact that you used to have to sit there and think about who that actor was in that movie.
Yeah.
And that would drive you crazy. You'd like two people, you'd be sitting there going, I know the name, I know. And for a half hour, an hour, you could not concentrate on anything else. And now you're like, hold on, IMDb, boom, it was this movie, this year, blah, blah.
Ron Jeremy.
All your Ron Jeremy. You have answers at your fingertips now.
I have an iPhone which I don't even use because I like my BlackBerry. That's how jackass I am. Like I've got the two leading machines,
the two ones,
and the iPhone is for when my BlackBerry breaks because I throw it around a lot. So I was at my mother's house and I was about my iPhone. I go, yeah, I got one, but it's like, and she goes, what does that even do? She didn't even understand any facet of. My mother's a computer programmer, but
oh my God,
but
punch cards.
Yes, she used punch cards. She had
ENIAC,
but consumer products. She doesn't know anything about those, and so she said, "What is that? What's the big deal with it?" And I show it to her, and I just start running her through what iPhones do.
Yeah,
and like I said, think of any song you've ever heard, and for some reason she said "Footloose." I don't know why my mom. and I just go click 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 foot, and I'm just playing it. like instantly, and she was like, "What? I don't." And then I said, "Think of anything that's ever happened, like literally, just anything in history." So she thought of the most. She said, "Well, I was thinking yesterday about when Martin Luther King was assassinated, and Robert Kennedy was making a speech in the moment that he was shot, and he got told during the speech. So he announced to a bunch of black people that he was speaking to. He announced to them that Martin Luther King was shot, and it was a really dramatic moment." And I go on YouTube on my iPhone, RFK, MLK shot, and in seconds we're listening to that speech. And my mother was it was one of those things where she was like, "Where am I? What is this?"
Did she try to
like,
kill
what
you?
Happened to the
Wizard! Wizard! Like Carrie's mother. She put you in the closet. Pray together. We'll pray. That is, I did pretty much the same thing at my mother and Sal's house with the iPhone. I was showing them things. You know, you just pop on, because my mother's just a movie buff.
Yeah.
So I go to IMDb. And she's like, "I don't need that. I have my Leonard Maltin book." And she's got this book that she gets every year.
Yes.
It's Leonard Maltin's book.
Yes.
And it's just got everything you could get on IMDb in a second in this 8,000-page gigantic book.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Mom,
but
look."
it doesn't have Dane Cook's works in progress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
In production.
It's like, and you could cross-reference actors in the same movie, so you could see if they were in the same movie together. Leonard Maltin book. All right, Mom, whatever.
You know, and it's not the fault of some corporations or Donald Trump. It's like Walmart kills all small town economies. But it's not Walmart's fault. It's the fault of the people. I used to have a house in upstate New York, and there was a town that had these beautiful old diners and general stores, and they all closed one by one because of Walmart. But it wasn't Walmart's fault. It was the people that lived in that town that don't give a shit about their neighbors.
But is it giving a shit?
It's the American basic consumer who's like, well, okay, I could spend 13 cents less on a mop.
Yeah.
So my neighbor. My neighbor who's had that store in his family for, who's taken care. There's like a million George Bailey moments in that town's history where the whole, I'll give a check to your, baseball teams with names, John's General Store.
Right.
Yeah. Like the whole community coming together to do stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I want to buy a Jim Carrey movie 3-pack for $7. So the old movie theater with a Wurlitzer organ.
But think of Blockbuster Video. Now that caused a big thing because it pretty much closed down all the little mom and pop video stores,
which was a great family business.
Which was a family business and shit like that. I remember those things and having to go in and you'd have to buy a membership fee when you first get in. When it was like $100,
and that was just to try to keep the stores.
Yeah, to keep the store open. But then Blockbuster came around. Now, what do you want to do? Go into the mom and pop and wait a week for the latest release?
Yeah, why don't you? Why don't you fucking wait a little bit?
I want it now.
So fuck the family that opened that store.
Yeah.
And by the way, them that they used to think about what movies you might like. That you might walk in and they go, "Anthony, you like comedies.
Anthony, we got a whole section for you.
Do you even know
Remember
who
that conversation
Francois
we had?
Tati is?" And they'd show you something that we went and found this. Blockbuster would never do that for you. Them.
I agree with both of you, but
so that you can
the local,
save a little bit of money.
The local place that Ann's talking about, you had to wait for some to bring back the nice new movie.
It's out. You'd be like, it's out. It's like,
when is it coming back? I want to watch that fucking thing.
Again,
and then Blockbuster said,
fuck
that. The Blockbuster said, look, we could just put 100 copies on the shelf.
So you're thinking the whole loyalty thing should outweigh the convenience?
Absolutely, because you're supporting somebody who is, there's a human being and a family who's living off that business, and they give a shit about you.
But
by the way, where's Blockbuster? It's
I
fucking
know,
gone, so they leave a vacuum.
You
can't rent a
delivery
fucking
now.
video anymore.
Yeah, but why would you? Digital delivery.
If there was video stores, you know why? It's like bookstores. A bookstore is not just a place where you can buy books. It's a place where somebody expresses themselves by deciding what books to put out there and what books they want to offer their community.
Right.
And that gets replaced by Barnes & Nobles, which means you get the same books that every place in the world gets. I mean, not just America.
Right.
Every bookstore has exactly the same books now. I mean, that's people don't realize what a massive... It used to be, you go to that bookstore, you're going to get some weird off-color books of this kind, or you're going to get maybe a right-wing bookstore, a left-wing bookstore. That used to be how people And then so Barnes Nobles comes, and the difference is a family business will hang on through the tough years if they have half a chance.
Yeah.
But a corporate business will go, oh, we're not making it $10 trillion, just pull up stakes. And they're gone. So now there's no more bookstores.
That's amazing.
Or video stores. Yeah.
No bookstores, no video stores.
Right. The big Barnes Noble on the Upper West.
But
because those are predatory businesses.
Given your thinking, though, wouldn't we never progress? Like,
who's progressing? That's the
I mean with everything. Like, wouldn't we not look at the automotive business, which is horrible now, of course, because of the outsourcing and everything. But early on, there were guys working those lines. What about the technology to come in and use robots that did eliminate jobs, but it makes the car better and faster and
that's exactly the thing. These things like bookstores and video stores, though, they weren't improved. They were destroyed. And a book is not a car. It's not a product that needs to be perfected like a technology. It's about having a way of life.
But now you just download it on Kindle.
Yeah. No, exactly, but it's rubbed out getting out of your house and going to a bookstore and meeting the bookstore guy and other people. You used to get laid by going to bookstores. A way that people used to get laid is by going to a bookstore and standing in a section that makes you look smart. And then a chick comes around.
Yeah.
Oh, do you also like this book?
Oh, sure. I'm perusing this.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. When I grew up in Boston, and there was a place in Harvard Square called the Coffee Connection. And this was a place that was obsessed with coffee, and they had coffees from all around the world, and they'd have stuff like you'd get like a cappuccino, and they'd shave chocolate onto it, not like a canister of chocolate powder.
It took time. I mean,
they had a cheese grater and a block of chocolate, and they'd shred chocolate onto the thing for you. That's like how good it was.
You sound like my grandfather. My grandfather talking to me. You don't even understand the old
no idea.
days.
I know the point he's about to make.
You'd go to the Coffee Connection and you'd sit there like trembling, and they'd bring you this thing that would just change your life. Or they go, hey, you want to try Turkish? We have a new Turkish coffee today. It's a weird thing.
Sounds good.
Never tried it. So then Starbucks opens down the street, but this Coffee Connection hangs on. So Starbucks opens another one, like on the other side of them. Starbucks isn't doing so great that they can open another one. They're just trying to kill.
Oh, shit.
So they open like 5 within a block of the place until Coffee Connection goes, this is getting hard. And they sell themselves. They go, let's just be at Starbucks.
Yeah.
So then Starbucks buys them and then closes the other ones. And then you're just left with just one choice. You get Starbucks.
And the quality of Starbucks is horrible.
It's okay. And the instant Starbucks isn't making a profit, they'll give up, and then there won't be a place to even get coffee.
Right. Then we go back to having no coffee again.
No coffee.
He's right.
So
I remember the lumber stores. I remember we did a lot of renovation on our old house because we had 7 kids, small house, so we were constantly adding rooms and this and that.
Mom and pop lumber shops.
Mom and pop. I would get in the car with my dad. I remember like it was yesterday. We'd go to the local lumber guy. He knew my dad's first name. We got this for you. We made your pile. It's
Putting
all
a dormer
set.
on the house, are you? Yep. Well, you're going to need some of that. No, I'll come over here. I'll help you out. You need that for the joists.
But it was a social thing too, man. How are the kids and how are your kids?
Very social,
right? And then the Home Depot. It's a massive warehouse, and no one wants to help you.
You're just mad right when you walk in.
Sad people working there.
Right.
Yeah. The buying of the lumber is not a happy exchange. It used to be that you could say to yourself, you know what? If I invest in a good saw, and I get some trucks, I could go out and get some poplar and cut it well, and people will come here and build houses with it.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, you got some nice poplar, not as good as Joe Wilson's. Yeah, well, mine is down 3 cents.
Right.
Well, I'll buy yours then. This was like and by the way, we don't improve through this.
No.
We actually don't. It's like it's what happens is the second place product always wins by being more vicious
to
take like
over
Microsoft versus Apple.
Right.
Microsoft is shit software. It's hard compared to Apple.
I know, believe me.
It's horrible, but Bill Gates is a capitalist, and he was vicious, and he fought Apple, and so for some years anyway.
Yeah.
America lived on computer technology because of his
There was a point where we all thought Apple was gone.
Yeah, it's VHS versus Beta. Beta is still used today.
Yeah.
Beta videotape is still what most TV shows are shot on.
Yeah.
and we all watched VHS tapes because the VHS people said, we make the second best, so we're going to be cutthroat and up and pay off people and go to litigation and like sue Beta. And Beta's like, we're making the best kind. We can't even get people to buy it.
Yeah.
And so everyone gets VHS.
Unbelievable.
This is Tesla and Edison. It's
Edison
always
and Tesla, yeah.
One guy's a genius and is selling a beautiful thing. The second place guy copies it, doesn't do it as well,
and then
takes him to court in every state in America and muscles him and fights him and outdraws
Ruins his
him.
credibility.
Gets some Texan to pay for it, and then we all have to buy the shitty product.
You're brilliant.
It's true. It's the same with cars. They would be better if what you're saying was actually true.
If it was like the guys still on the assembly line.
Your coffee story is deeply depressing.
It is. What happens everywhere.
I was thinking, as you were talking about that, like the Starbucks popping up are like weeds.
Yes.
Taking out the really nice crop.
Yeah,
nice
that's
flowers.
what they do.
They're
And
just,
they're only
just
interested
putting
in
weeds all over the place
That's right.
to destroy it.
I was on a plane once, and I was flying first class because I had a thing. I fly first class. Who cares? Just, that's the way it is. I'm not like you. I'm not. All the things you do, I do a better version of all those things. And it's only for another year at the most, believe me. It's not gonna last. It's been about 8 months. I got a year left, and then I'm back to being just like you. But for now, it's pretty good. So I'm in a first class seat, and first class is so crazily better. It's so much better. You get a bigger seat, you get food, but also you get to sit. And first, you get to sit before anybody else does. They sit you down, and you get to just sit there with champagne and watch all the sweaty, just miserable, all the single moms hefting their stroller and the kid. And you're like, oh, that looks heavy, and nobody's helping you. That's a drag. And you get to just... Anyway, so I was on a plane, I'm first class, and a soldier gets on a plane. I see soldiers fly all the time, because that's how they get to the war. They fly on a shitty airline. You think they get to go in a cool green plane with a red light and go, go, go! No, they just go to Delta, and they just wait in line to go to a war. And they always fly coach. I've never seen a soldier in first class in my life. It could be a full bird colonel. He's between two fat guys in coach. And they're always nice. I've never seen a soldier get on a plane like, hey, I'm in the army. F*** you. I have a gun. They're always like, oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's like having an extra flight attendant. They help everybody put their up. They're awesome. And every time that I see a soldier on a plane, I always think, you know what? I should give him my seat. It would be the right thing to do. It would be easy to do, and it would mean a lot to him. I could go up to him, hey, son. I get to call him son. Hey, son, go ahead and take my seat. Because I'm in first class, why? For being a professional. I'm in first class because I talk about babies with big. That's what got me my seat. This guy is giving his life for the country, he thinks, and so he has to sit. But that's good enough. That's good enough. The fact that he thinks it. I'm serious. Told by everybody in his life system that that's a great thing to do, and he's doing it. And it's scary, but he's doing it, and he's sitting in this seat, and I should trade with him. I never have. Let me make that clear. I've never done it once. I've had so many opportunities. I never even really seriously came close. And here's the worst part. I still just enjoyed the fantasy for myself to enjoy. I was actually proud of myself for having thought of it. I was proud. Oh, I am such a sweet man. That is so nice of me to think of doing that and then totally never do it.
He and I talked about doing the podcast twice on two separate occasions.
Delete the story.
No,
Jamie.
we're keeping that story.
I love him. Delete the story.
It's a great story.
He's my favorite guy in the world.
He's a great guy. What's wrong with that story?
That wasn't bad.
You didn't say anything bad about him.
I got a bad Louis story.
So I used to open for him before he was in trouble. And, he was like the king of comedy for a while. He was the funniest guy ever, whatever. So I used to open for him, and it was the highlight of my life. And then we were hanging out in his hotel room watching a movie, and we were talking, and I was sitting on his bed, and he was sitting at the chair in the hotel room. And I go, "Hey, Louie," and I farted
on his bed.
On his bed, and he flipped. He lost it. He flipped. I was like, "You're like the filthy comedy guy. I thought you would love a fart." And he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And I was crushed.
But did he get actually angry or just like that, dude? What are you doing?
It was worse because it was like, "I'm disappointed in you." Like I thought we were building a relationship, and you fart in my hotel room.
I could see that 100%.
I thought he'd love it.
He strikes me as a guy that would. Yeah.
Oh, he
There's
hated
certain
it.
guys.
I could see him going both ways.
Interesting.
I could see him going like, "That was hilarious," or like, "Hey, dude, what
You
the
caught
fuck?
him
I
on
got
a
nice
bad
suite."
day.
And it was a great fart too.